Okay, that's wonderful. But how do I make money off depressed people?
Hey people, hope you guys are all having a wonderful day. Today I'm going over Haru Urara. I'm going over her career mode and the Ui finale era, and I'm just going to go over some things, thoughts and feelings, you know, about what you can do on your Haru Urara runs. As we all know, because of career mode's boost in stamina, she will always meet her stamina caps. That meaning you can just train speed up to the cap, and that will get you generally high enough power so that you can just win the career mode without thought by putting yourself in the front, even though you have a G rating. It's just because it's also due to a lot of the Uma that are out right now don't have great dirt affinity, and they're put in the race as well. Few things. There is the IRL Haru Urara run, which you can do, and it's basically around like, so you train her up till the day after the debut, and then all your career goals for a long time are very easy, if you know what I mean. And what you could do is enter every single tournament from the week after your debut, and win or lose, at the end of a tournament you'll get money. So basically you'll get money and you'll get fans, so you'll meet these fan goals. Basically, when you win a tournament, you have a chance to get sneakers or shoes. So if we go over here and we go over like potential unlocks, and you get shoes here, right? Basically, shoes are less valuable than monies, in my experience, personally, you know. Let's get back to career mode. But basically, win or lose, you'll get 200 to 400 monies. And it doesn't matter if you're in first place or you're in last place. And there's usually like sort of a soft cap on how many races you can do. After the third race, your mood will start to lower. However, and you might get a debuff or two from losing. That is also a thing. However, when you're doing career goals, so like, for instance, if I was doing a Bakushin run, if I do 2 tournaments before this, the third tournament does not count to the mood lowering. Alright? So, theoretically, right, you can enter like every single tournament all the way up to here, and you'll probably gain enough fans, and you'll make more money than you would completing a UA finale. And then you could potentially save the run. She's so easy as a character, you could potentially save the run. However, regardless of whether you're doing the IRL run or you're doing maybe a sort of midway thing, you do have to do optionals. And the way that Urara's tournaments are sort of set up, the ones that she's good at, it's sort of deceptive. And I want to show you guys, if you're not doing the Glue Factory run, let's say you're trying to aim for a high rating, I'm going to try and show you guys how to optimally go around the tournaments that are available to her. So I would be grudged if I didn't mention trophies. So there's a lot of trophies that are almost completely exclusive to her until you get Condor Spire or a Gory Cap. Try and enter as many dirt, sprint, and mile tournaments on the run as possible. I will be highlighting a few that are necessary, but you should, if you've not got all these trophies, you should aim to get them. These give you riding points, refills, toughness, and also a lot of gems and a lot of rainbow carrots. She can also clear the G2s and the G1s as well, which can mean a lot of carrots for you. In terms of parents, she has very few options. If you see up here, like barely, very bad affinity. Even if I go to my guests and I start asking them, you know, no one seems to give her any sizable boost. So generally you'll be aiming just for whatever has like the most stats that you would desire, and a triangle is probably the best. This is a problem with her because she's just not related to any of the famous racehorses in real life. In terms of what kind of build that you want, I would generally go for something with power. Like, for instance, this card here. This card has a stamina bonus. By training your power, you'll raise your stamina up to a reasonable level. When the career mode is wiped off, you will have a reasonable stamina. And also, wit recovery, you're gonna end up doing a few wit trainings here and there. Might as well have it. This is enough for capping out speed. Has a high power bonus. Gives rushing Galad, which is quite good. This also gives Professor of Curvature. I don't really need stamina, so what I'm going to go with, we're going to go with this level 50 special weak speed just for the extra speed and power. But generally, in an ideal world, this would be max level so that I would get also the stamina bonus to raise more stamina with power. But I just don't have the cash, man. And this is why we're doing Urara runs, you know? But yeah, this is the kind of support deck I would use. Maybe I'd use an additional power on top of this. If I had a good friend with a power card, that would be great. If anyone has a good power share, let me know. So starting up the run, generally we want to aim for any of the trainings with 3 support cards. Generally this is a good one, but we would also want to aim to get as much power as we can. By the end of the day, you can raise the training level of these facilities up to level 3 if you focus on one. Basically, because we've taken a wit card, we don't actually want to rest too much, as resting is actually got a lot of RNG to it, like Night Owl and stuff like that, which can actually slow down your run significantly. So we're going to try and wit around using rest as much as possible and focus on power and speed when we have the energy. And also we have a lot of good support cards that give a lot of energy, so when we rest we maybe get all rested and then we waste some energy that we might have got. However, just because Haru Urara is so easy, it doesn't matter if we're like falling behind the stats, we'll catch up. In terms of hints, this is also very good, especially if it's on one of the 3 stats that you're trying to train up the most. So I'm trying to train up speed, power, and wit, so this is great for me. But generally, if it's on a character that doesn't give a skill that you like, and on a stat that you don't need or want, you just generally want to avoid it. It's not that much of a big deal. As you've seen, I got Watchful Eye, which is a fucking terrible skill. Excuse my French. I'm taking Wit here because it's got 2 cards on it, and I can use the energy. Also another good one for Wit. In terms of extra training, you always want to take the bottom option. Energy is so much more worth it than having an energy drop because of extra training. And Wit's just winning. Wit's just winning right now. Always want to go with the one that has the most amount of support cards on it. And that's why we don't really raise mood too much. We generally will end up getting some kind of bonus. Now, it seems like we don't have any support cards on anything but power, so we're just going to take power. Accidentally got myself an injury. Always take the bottom option, but we'll still save this run, don't worry. Back where we were. You know, I'm going to take power. Get some skill points from her. You generally want to go with her over the reporter. You only have to raise the reporter up to halfway if you're wanting to get the bonus at the end. She's more tricky, and generally the bonus and skill points is much more desirable. You know, I did have a major fumble, but maybe we can still get A rank. Yeah, we're gonna put her in the front. I seemingly have an F on, but she usually has a G in front, which is atrocious, frankly. But as I said about the stamina thing, basically because of her like already meeting the stamina soft cap, the only stats that matter are power and speed and wit, technically. So generally what you get from those is a lot better. So as soon as I say like it's late July, which is the second week, the week after debut, optional tournaments open up. Obviously, she doesn't have a lot of tournaments that she's good for other than pre-OP, meaning she's going to either lose a lot or win a few. What we want to look for is, if we're going for the best stats, is tournaments like these where she is not at a disadvantage. And this thing here is the scheduler. So you can schedule your next race by looking through your calendar and finding what tournament is best. What tournaments you want to look out for is one with shadowed trophies like this, that you have 2 stars in. That means your horse has a reasonable chance to win. If you don't have the trophy, you can win this tournament and get that trophy and get some carrots. And yeah. The reason why we want to leave off the tournament so long is that there's these 2 tournaments back to back that she's both really good at, and they will both give a sizable amount of fans. So we can just train for like the next 20 weeks uninterrupted. And yeah. However, as we were all talking about the glue run or the whatever, so you can also just enter tournaments every month, every week, everything, and you generally will win every POP race, every OP race, even with miserable moods with your debut stats, and you'll get a reasonable amount of gold. And you could just enter all these tournaments every week. There's so many tournaments for the next 24 turns, which you'll not get kicked out of this career mode until those 24 turns are over. And then after that, you get more turns to enter more tournaments. And when you lose these tournaments, you're not getting these shoes, you're getting the gold. So this is the way that you get that hefty amount of monies, if you're looking for that hefty amount of monies and you're not looking for ratings or anything like that, or inspirations. Okay, so we're far in. I didn't talk too much there, but I'm gonna leave some notes behind. But like, so we're 2 turns from the first goal deadline, and we have our first tournament, and it's gonna ping me if I try to go train, if you know what I mean. So I can go do this. I picked up some skills on the way. Technically, you just want to sort of focus on these universal skills like Professor of Curvature and Rushing Galil. But stamina stuff like Swinging Maestro won't go amiss. Generally, you want to go for gold skills if you're going for an A ranking or above. Another thing about tournaments, you have this chance to meet the reporter, get a massive faction bonus with her. And right after that tournament, there's another dirt mile right after, so we can just do that right after. We get that career mode goal thing. Now we have 8 turns to reach our next goal. We'll look at our races. It will warn us not to take any races. And next week, we have another dirt mile. But let's look a little further. See if we have anything spicy like that again. Nope, we don't have anything as spicy as that again. And look, we already have a 1,175 fans, so we only have to do one more tournament, which we could just do this one here. And we have all the tournaments that we need to get all those goals. Now you might be saying, oh, you're missing out on summer training. Summer training is not all that. Personally, it's level 4 training basically. So if you've been like training up your facilities at home, it's not a significant boost. But yeah, all these optional tournaments, you'll get rewards from them. Maybe we'll get a bonus reward from the event and I can show you. But we won on G3, right? And we got shoes. But because of the event, we got a bonus 20 support cards. But if you've been winning all those OP races I've been showing you, or doing the glue run, you would just be getting gold, which, as we know, is more desirable than shoes. I usually go with the top option. Now, we're pretty fucked in terms of stamina, but I'm gonna just try and train this. The thing about wit training as well, you can't really fail it. Doesn't really count as a true fail. I usually pick the top option, gives you more energy. Now that wit kit card is like ramping up and getting more energy. One bar, so we want to get this guy up to orange. Orange when you start getting the rainbow trainings, and also we need to level up our guts anyway, our power training anyway, so that we get a higher level power training later on. And do we have any no, just gonna rest. Generally, I go for the top one. It'll give you more health, but there's a trick to that because she also got a raffle right after, and oh, we got wit training. Oh, we got carrot. Sometimes you get like a bundle. Sometimes you get your mood lowered. It's what it is. We're saving up for rushing Galil, so take that. And just keep going. Like, and you might notice that I'm not really like even thinking about anything because I know I'm gonna win every tournament. It's Brent's just not really. It's sort of just broken in career mode. It's good for new players, you know. And another thing is, like, even if stamina was to become an equation, she earns so much stamina just passively from winning all these tournaments. You might not have my luck in getting rushing Galil, so. So we still have plenty of time to max out speed. Are sort of running it kind of tight. But it is what it is. We're not really getting many good speed opportunities, I think. We're not getting like in 3s or 4s. But it is what it is. Still get like a relatively good Haru. As we all know, this is sort of a guaranteed failure. A lot of people try to anyway, but sort of pointless. You noticed when we lost, we got money instead of any chews. Sometimes you can get quite a healthy amount of energy increased back from recreation. We're already in the UA finale. Oh, we're in a mile UA finale. That's actually weird. You win this. And notice that I have like absolutely no fear that I'm going to win this. Everyone's like, oh, you need that K speed. In fact, the fact that it's mile, better for me, you know? We might have had a better run if we didn't get that field training. I think the like percentage was something really low as well, so it's a big shame. Just gonna grab this. Grab this, an ultimate skill. Yeah, just for now, just grab those. We got gold, an ultimate. See what we get after that. And that's just to give us a little bit of a boost in whatever this is. Oh, there we go. Oh, we are 7-1. Have you noticed I am completely unsurprised? And I'm also just like, this is one take. I'm not editing this or anything like that. I haven't switched it out with a winning or anything like that. But yeah, we got this. I don't think we're going to get the general. So we only got like a halfway general, so director. So when you get a full director, you get a little fan. And you get 20 stats instead of 10. So we still have like a lot of this stuff, so we can spend this on... I don't think I get an A, but it's what it is, you know. I would have liked a lot more of the green things. Greens are generally actually good for PvP. But here we go, we can see the final what we got. Yep, B+. Fortunate, but it is true. I only got wit 2. But this is basically Haru Urara in a nutshell. I did better than last time, apparently. Yeah, this is Haru Urara. If you guys have any other questions about Haru Urara, leave them down in the comments. I think I explained the glue run pretty well. If there's any more questions about that, if there are any questions about builds or whatever, etc., let me know. And yeah, hope you guys have a wonderful day. I was able to make this Haru later on. He's pretty cracked. 3 speed and some dirt. Pretty good for Haru. But yeah, just keep trying to follow my guide and you'll get something like this.